Seems like dreams like I've always had. Could be, should be, making me glad. Why am I blue? It's up to you to explain. I'm thinking maybe, baby, I'll go away. Someday, some way, maybe you'll come and say, it's you that I need, and you'll be pleading in vain. It had to be you. It had to be you. I've wandered around, finally found the somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me, might never be crossed or try to be bossed, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me the thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found the somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me, might never be crossed or tried to be bossed, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me the thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. So we started off with an oldie but goodie. It Had to Be You. Music by Isham Jones, lyrics by Gus Kahn. For those of you who are actually regular listeners, this is not much of a surprise. We do a lot of older music. Hopefully we expand just a little bit this evening, but we start with the oldies but goodies. Next up are actually two songs, music written by Jerome Kern. One is a little bit older than the other. One has lyrics by Oscar Hammerstein, and the other fellow, the other lyricist is, I actually have to look this up because I'm not familiar with the lyricist at all. His name is Herbert Reynolds. So just a little Jerome Kern to start us off. We are seen around New York, El Morocco and the Stork, and the other stay-up-late cafes. I'm on to town with you these days. That's the way it stands. Just a fellow and a girl, we have had a little whirl, and our feet have left the ground a bit. We played around a bit, that's the way it stands. For we are strictly good time Charlies who like to drink and dance around, and maybe kick romance around, and that's the way it stands. All in fun, this thing is all in fun. When all is said and done, how far can it go? Some cocktails, some orchids, a show or two, a line in a column that links me with you. Just for laughs, I'm with you night and day. And so the dopes all say that I'm that way about you. So here's a laugh, and when I tell you, this'll kill you. What they say is true. All in fun, this thing is all in fun. When all is said and done, how far can it go? Some cocktails, some orchids, a show or two, line in a column that links me with you. Just for laughs, I'm with you night and day. And so the dopes all say that I'm that way about you. So here's a laugh, and when I tell you, this'll kill you. What they say is when I told them how beautiful you are, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me. Your lips, your eyes, your cheeks, your hair are in a class beyond compare. You're the loveliest girl that one could see. And when I tell them, and I'm certainly going to tell them, that I'm the man whose wife one day you'd be, they'll never believe me. They'll never believe me, that from this great big world you've chosen me. Your eyes, your cheeks, your hair are in a class beyond compare. You're the loveliest girl that one could see. And when I tell them, and I'm certainly going to tell them, that I'm the man whose wife one day you'd be, they'll never believe me. They'll never believe me, that from this great big world you've chosen me. Next up is Oscar Hammerstein's best-known collaborator. His name is Richard Rodgers. He had been quite active in the musical theater biz for, around 50 years, from the 1920s through the 1970s. He's probably best known these days for his work with Oscar Hammerstein, but he also used to work with a gentleman named Lorenz Hart, who wrote some of the wittiest lyrics to be found in American popular song. This next piece was probably their first breakout hit, and it was introduced in around 1925. Summer journeys to Niagara and to other places aggravate all our cares. We'll save our fares. I've a little closey flat in what is known as Old Manhattan. We'll settle down right here in town. We'll have Manhattan, the Bronx and Staten Island too. It's lovely going through the zoo. It's very fancy on Old Delancey Street, you know. The subway charms us so when balmy breezes blow to and fro. And tell me what street compares with Mott Street in July. Sweet push carts gently gliding by. The great big city's a wondrous toy, just made for a girl and boy. We'll turn Manhattan into an Isle of Joy. We'll go to Greenwich, where modern men itch to be free. And Bowling Green you'll see with me. We'll bathe at Brighton, the fish you'll frighten when you're in your bathing suit so thin. We'll make the shellfish grin, fin to fin. Our future babies we'll take to A.B.'s Irish Rose. I hope they live to see it close. The city's clamor can never spoil the dreams of the boy and Goyle. We'll turn Manhattan into an Isle of Joy. We're going a little bit further back in time than usual. I usually do material from the 1930s, 1940s, maybe a little bit later than that. The last couple of songs have been from the 1920s or even earlier. This next song is no exception. This is from, or at least was, fairly well known back in the day. If you're listening to this, you probably know it. Feel free to sing along. That's one of the beauties of virtual concerts. I am not bothered by the singing at all. This was a song that was composed by Vincent Youmans with lyrics by Irving Caesar. It was first introduced in the musical No, No, Nanette, and heck, you probably know it. Picture you upon your knee, just tea for two and two for tea, just me and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't even know it that we own a telephone. Dear, day will break and I will wake and start to bake a sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? We'll raise a family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we would be? This next song is an old favorite of mine. This song was actually written in the 1930s. It had lyrics by Johnny Mercer and music by Richard Whiting. I enjoy playing this. I've enjoyed learning this song. I introduced a friend of mine to this song, and she does a wonderful job of it. She's actually performed it in Uptown Bills a couple of times. Yeah, I'll try to have a crack at it this time out. Probably one of the downsides for this particular situation is that I don't get to play with other people, with other singers or other instrumentalists, and I miss them terribly. Hopefully that situation will be remedied sooner than later. But until that day comes, enjoy this one. You're just too marvelous for words. Like glorious, glamorous, and that old standby amorous. It's all too wonderful, I'll never find the words that say enough, tell enough. I mean, they just aren't swell enough. You're much too much and just too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. And so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. Like adorable and amorous and glorious and glamorous, they're insufficient when applied to you. To be egotistical, to be eulogistical, I've come up with a million words I never thought I knew. I'd rather be logical and sensible, but I'm incomprehensible whenever I begin to find a phrase. But they never say enough, they never tell enough, and I already told you my vocabulary's not swell enough. What do I do to say the things I have in mind? It's really absurd, there isn't a word to fit you. No matter where I look, I only seem to find delectable, delirious, magnificently mysterious. You're simply too spectacular to be in my vernacular, and so you see I'm forced to go to the birds. The reason must be quite apparent that you are just too utterly, utterly wonderful and marvelous for words. Like rapturous, fabulous, your voice is tintinabulous. like magical, mystical, seems much too apophystical. The sweetest words in Keats and Shelley's lyrics aren't sweet enough to be your panegyrics, and so I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you you're collapsible. You've made my whole life possible and too marvelous for words. We're taking a bit of a leap with these next couple of songs from the 1920s, 30s to the 1960s. This next song is actually rather atypical of me. While I do enjoy performing standards, by no stretch of the imagination could you say that I really do jazz. Closest I would say is doing Cabaret, which is a pretty straightforward rendition of these materials. This next song is a little bit different. The composer of the song is Bill Evans, with lyrics by Gene Lees. It came out in 1960. I believe it came out first as an instrumental, but it has some truly lovely lyrics, which is why I decided to learn it, and I think you'll enjoy it. In her own sweet world, populated by dolls and clowns and a prince and a big purple bear, lives my favorite girl, unaware of the worried frowns that we weary grown-ups all wear. In the sun she dances to silent music, songs that are spun of gold somewhere in her own little head. Someday, all too soon, she'll grow up and she'll leave her doll and her prince and her silly old bear. When she goes, they will cry as they whisper goodbye. They will miss her, I know, but then so will I. Lives my favorite girl, unaware of the worried frowns that we weary grown-ups all wear. In the sun she dances to silent music, songs that are spun of gold somewhere in her own little head. Someday, all too soon, she'll grow up and she'll leave her dolls and her prince and her silly old bear. When she goes, they will cry as they whisper goodbye. They will miss her, I know, but then so will I. I'm a big Audrey Hepburn fan, but that is not the reason why I learned this next tune. I just liked it. I like the music. I like the lyrics. I hope you will as well. It came out from a film back in 1967 called Two for the Road. The music was by Henry Mancini, and the lyrics were by Leslie Bricusse. Another wonderful one. Hope you enjoy this one. If you're feeling fancy free, come wander through the world with me, and every place we chance to be will be a rendezvous. Two for the road, we'll travel down the years, collecting precious memories, selecting souvenirs, and living life the way we please. In summertime the sun will shine, in winter we'll drink summer wine, and every day that you are mine will be a lovely day, so long as love still wears a smile. I know that we'll be two for the road, and that's a long, long while. Two for the road, we'll travel down the years, collecting precious memories, selecting souvenirs, and living life the way we please. In summertime the sun will shine, in winter we'll drink summer wine, and every day that you are mine will be a lovely day, as long as love still wears a smile. I know that we'll be two for the road, and that's a long, long while. I find it a little bit depressing that this album came out around 50 years ago. The album I'm thinking of is called Tapestry, and it featured Carole King as a performer with her compositions. And Carole King isn't exactly who you'd think of when you think of the classic Great American Songbook, which is a pity because I think that she does some very good work, and her work does deserve to be included in the canon. The music is very musical, the lyrics are quite evocative. This next song did not premiere in that album. It was actually done a couple of years ago, a couple of years before, by a girl group who did somewhat fast-paced rendition of the song, and when Carole King decided to perform it in her album, she slowed it down quite a bit. Personally, I prefer her performance. I hope you enjoyed this one. Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. But will you love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure? Or just a moment's pleasure? Can I believe the magic of your sighs? But will you love me tomorrow? Tonight with words unspoken, you say that I'm the only one. But will my heart be broken when the night meets the morning sun? I'd like to know that your love is love I can be sure of. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow? We end this evening with a French song, believe it or not. Not that I am planning to sing in French. Neither you nor I deserve that experience. I will very easily mangle it. Anyway, this song came out of a movie called The Young Girls of Rochefort. The lyrics were by Jacques Demy, who also directed the movie, and the music was by Michel Legrand. The lyrics were then translated. Actually, I'm not quite sure whether it was actually, I don't think it was a literal translation, but English lyrics were supplied by Alan and Marilyn Bergman, who are wonderful husband and wife lyricists, and have done quite a few songs over many, many years. Take me a hell of a long time to get through all of them, but a lot of them you know fairly well. So we'll go with that. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you've enjoyed this evening's performance. Many thanks to Uptown Bills for providing a platform for something like this. And I sincerely hope we will be making music in front of you live and in person again very, very soon. But until that time, I hope you enjoy this. Good night. When lonely feelings chill the meadows of your mind, just think, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Beneath the deepest snows, the secret of a rose is merely that it knows you must believe in spring. Just as a tree is sure its leaves will reappear, it knows its emptiness is just the time of year. The frozen mountain dreams of April's melting streams, how crystal clear it seems you must believe in spring. When angry voices drown the music of the spheres, and children face a world that's far beyond their years, above the darkest skies the full horizons lie, with all the reasons why you must believe in spring. You must believe in love and trust it's on its way, just as the sleeping rose awaits the kiss of May. So in a world of snow, of things that come and go, where what you think you know you can't be certain of, you must believe in spring and love.